Welcome to the Horror Friendly Podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Horror Friendly Podcast. We are doing something a little different for the next, month or so. We have decided again to come back from last year and cover a handful of the films that are being premiered at Fright Fest this year, the 2025 Fright Fest. And this time I have Chantal joining me for the event. So we're really excited and I hope you enjoy the episode.
So, the next film we are going to cover from Fright Fest 2025 is Your Host, directed by D.W. Medoff and written by Joey Miller. Four friends get trapped in a sadistic game show, forced to outwit a twisted serial killer while racing against time. Every move brings them closer to freedom or a gruesome fate. Katie, what were your first thoughts on this one?
I watched the trailer for this one and I really loved it. I loved how you didn't actually see the killer in the trailer. It was all kind of like speculation. It was very much giving like Saw vibes to me. It also kind of reminded me of the Black Phone, the kind of voice, very similar. So I was really excited for this one because I thought this could be up our street. But yeah, no, for the most part, I really enjoyed this film. I thought particularly Jackie Earl Haley, I think he was pretty amazing as the lead in this. It's kind of scary, unpredictable. You didn't really know like what his next move was going to be. So I think that really did like keep you on your toes for most of the film. And yeah, I thought like the acting was decent for the most part. I struggled with the group of friends. I feel like they weren't the most likable group of friends. But again, like as you know, when you watch the film, you understand that that's kind of the point. They're all like some heavily flawed people. So you kind of explore each of their stories. So I thought the characters were kind of interesting, not necessarily likable. But as I say, I think Jackie Earle Haley was very good. And generally, yeah, just a fun idea, but not necessarily a very original one. But I don't mind that necessarily. I think it was still done very well. But yeah, what about you?
So I literally wrote down, the first thing I wrote down was, opening is a little off-putting. All the characters suck. I don't care that they're about to become the victims. Because you know it's a game show. So you very quickly, you're then introduced to some people and you're like, well, you're obviously going to be the main group we're following for the film. That's how films work. And I just could not have cared less that they were about to die.
Yeah,
As you say, they're so unlikable. And I know that's the point, but there was nothing. I didn't give a shit about that. And it was so funny because I was like, maybe I should care.
well, I felt the same. Am I the drama?
Am I the issue? And I guess at that point, you're like, are we cheering on like wait,
well,
do you know his name?
no, I only know the actor's name.
Are we cheering on the host? It's called Your Host. I can dump that.
Are we? Yeah. Yeah, well, I actually felt very similar. Like I was saying, the characters to me weren't that likable. I understand that like throughout the film, that's kind of the point because they give you their stories. But yeah, I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, in that way, it kind of reminded me of Saw because Jigsaw takes people that kind of have done things in their life,
Yeah.
Which is why this sort of themes reminded me of it. But yeah, you're right. Like you weren't really rooting for anyone.
No. And that's the thing, even though, like, as it goes on, and you're like, well, maybe them. And then you're still just like, no, like, I'm actually rooting for the wrong guy. Like, and it's a little bit odd.
Yeah.
I did actually write down as well. It's got very Saw meets Hostel, but kind of very the first of each of those franchises where it's like the independent budget vibes as well. So it felt very like and I say this in the nicest way. Again, if you've heard our podcast, you know this. I actually mean this from the heart. Simple script. Like I always like criticize horror if it's overcomplicated and they try to do way too much. This was very simple idea. And it did it well. Like it didn't
that's
it
very
didn't
true.
try to do 100 things on a small budget with an hour and a half. It had one space pretty much where you spend most of the film.
Yeah.
Four people we didn't like. That was, and I was like, and that's all it needed, and it did it well.
Yeah.
So rather than throwing loads at it, I thought that was, yeah. And again, that's how a lot of
Mm.
the best franchises got started.
Yeah.
They don't need to be overcomplicated at the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can kind of like you can see other films being made to this kind of theme. You could see like this becoming a kind of franchise because it has a solid backstory and things. I know obviously we can't give away any spoilers, as we're probably going to say so many times in each episode. But I know when me and you were chatting about it once we both watched it, we did struggle with some of the themes in this film. There's
Yeah,
some in there which are difficult to relate to, I think, in this day and age. It was an interesting way to go, I felt.
I get what they were doing. And again, this is why you and I had to say it. And I would love to cover this when we
Yeah.
can say it without spoilers. Um, yeah, I get what they were doing, and I get it's kind of like, oh, the shock factor, and it was a big reveal. But I also think that unfortunately I could see people in the real world taking this as an example to make things okay.
Mm.
And that worries me. Not because I think, people are gonna watch this and suddenly off they go, but it's happened, and I know it's normally happened with bigger franchises, but it doesn't take a lot, unfortunately, for the wrong people. And that's very cryptic and probably not helpful at all, but it did. You and I were like, that was just a little bit too close.
Mm. Absolutely, yeah. I think you'll get it when you see it and you
Yeah.
watch it. And if you guys have watched it, it'll be interesting to like discuss this with you. But yeah, I think the theming, yeah, was just as you say, a bit close. I wasn't really sure how to take it. Uh, yeah.
I really want to say more, but I know it's gonna ruin it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um
Yeah.
it's
So
hard to see a situation like this playing out. Ah, no, that I don't know. Yeah, I'm
mm.
gonna leave it because otherwise I'm gonna end up spoiling something.
Yeah, no, definitely. But it's worth, as I say, like once you guys have seen it, come back to us and like have a chat with us about it because we really want to talk to other people about this.
I'm so
Um,
excited actually to talk to people when they've seen it because
yeah.
yeah, we have thoughts and feelings. And again, I just want to see other people's perspective because maybe we're just taking it, from our life lived experiences. So I would
Yes,
be very curious for other thoughts.
definitely. Yeah. But aside from that, I think generally everything is like yeah, as you say, is good with the film. I think it like provides everything it needs to. It's a nice length and it's entertaining enough. Like you may not necessarily be rooting for the characters, but you do kind of want to see, you do want to see what happens at the end. You want to see what this kind of outcome is. And you kind of also see like character development, like how these characters kind of change
Yeah.
as they go. And yeah, I mean, give it a go.
Yeah, it's a fine line between not wanting someone to suffer, but also not caring if they succeed.
Yeah, basically.
Um, I will say, because it is on the poster actually, the mask that the host wears, as you say, it's very like the Black Phone, Ethan Hawke, but I think you can see a lot of that influence.
Yes.
But I think that was really creepy. Um, and I love as well, like kind of that character and how he's revealed and then things just get creepier with him.
Mm.
I love the end, the kind of like again, like playing around at the end
Yeah.
where because again, you do, even though we've said like with Saw and stuff, this he was kind of like a fun take on that. Because again, like Jigsaw is very serious. Like I know it's a
Mm.
puppet, but like it's all very serious and whereas this was
Yeah.
almost it is a game show and like that
Mm.
was the point. So it was a different angle, which I did quite like.
Yeah, definitely.
He was also like when he's fumbling and stuff, and I was like, yeah, this feels like someone's filming this. Like I don't know, yeah,
Yeah, you're right. Like when he's fumbling, it's kind of like it kind of shows that he's not this kind of polished, kind of focused killer like maybe Jigsaw is, or, whatever the guy from the Black Phone's called. Is he called anything? Um,
The grabber.
The grabber, thank you. Oh my God. How did I
So
forget he's an orc?
that's okay because you remembered the word I couldn't find, which was like polished. And yeah, as you say, like he's
Mm,
yeah, it's almost scarier because again, like if someone wants you
mm.
dead and they're very calculated,
Yeah.
and he didn't feel that way, he felt a bit chaotic, and I think that did make it a little bit like, what the fuck is
Yeah. It kind of made it feel like more realistic in a way. Like,
Mm,
it's not as polished and it's not as kind of like, universal Hollywood kind of blockbuster. This is like really nitty gritty, like someone that's really kind of like hit rock bottom. Like
yeah,
this is the kind of thing he would do. But as you say, at the same time, he's also trying to make it like a game show, like The Price is Right, or like
yeah,
just combining The Price is Right with Saw. That's
yeah.
basically what it is.
So if you love both those things, this is the film for you. Um,
Exactly.
but I think yeah, and that's for me was yeah, as I said, that was scary, and I think that makes that
Yeah.
better. I do think again, as we've said, like it's a game show. There's a few rounds. The first like kill, as it were, takes a while. So I feel like again, it's a horror. We kind of
Mm.
know that's where it's going. So I feel like when you kind of get to that point, it does take a little while to kind of like get into those,
Yeah.
which I was kind of like, it's taking time. But then at the same, I guess if you were in that scenario, you would, you know, I guess it gives them full sense of security that, oh, it's not that dangerous. We could get out of here, rah, rah. And then,
Yeah.
so I get why they were doing it. But I will
Mm.
say it's hard as an audience because you're like, I know this is a horror film.
Yeah.
I know stuff's
Mm.
going to happen. Like,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. I will admit that the ending I didn't see coming. To me, that was quite unexpected. That I
okay.
didn't. We'll talk about this more off camera, but
Uh,
yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't actually expect it, so I was pleasantly surprised.
yeah.
But once again, once you guys watch it, like talk to us.
Talk to us.
But
We do
yeah,
love
yeah,
it when a horror can still surprise us.
yes, absolutely, we do.
Well, who would you recommend this to? I feel like we've covered it a bit already, but
Yeah, I mean, Deal or No Deal. The Price is Right if you're in America, and Saw.
I was gonna say Saw and Hostel fans,
Yeah.
uh,
Black
that
Phone fans.
Black Phone fans, that like revenge type of genre, um, or just yeah. Again, I don't think I would put this quite in Pizza Party, but again, because it's kind of a little bit more fun, it
Mm.
could be a bit of a more relaxed one.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. Could be.
Depends on
Yeah.
who you're relaxing with.
Yeah, it does. No, you definitely could. Definitely more so than some of the other films that we've covered for Fright Fest.
Mhm.
It definitely is more of a pizza party, but I know what you mean. I think the theming of it maybe, I don't know, is a bit too dark for like to call it a pizza party film, but it's
Yeah.
definitely like you've got the mask and you've got like his character trait, like all of that's quite fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could have a little pizza and a little party.
Like you and I would have a little party with this. We just wouldn't invite all our friends who think we're mental.
Exactly.
And they're like, please stop inviting us to your parties.
Stop traumatizing us.
So I just wanted the pizza. Especially if you did the Dog of God and this back to back.
Yeah, oh my God.
We might lose some
Oh
friends.
my God. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I forgot. I nearly forgot the question.
Okay. How many spookies are we giving this out of 5?
I am going to give it. I put 3.5 because I think that subject matter, as we said, just kind of didn't sit quite right with me. And again, I know in horror, it's like no topics are off limits,
Mm.
but doesn't mean I have to like every horror genre with those topics.
Hmm.
Again, like, people avoid certain topics for their own personal reasons. So again, that might just be me, but I do think that's going to open a very big conversation, which when this is out and we can do it spoiler free, I would actually really love to come back and have that conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
But I did really
Definitely.
enjoy it. I did like the look. I actually put down like some of the aspects was really good. So yeah.
Yeah.
What about yourself? What do you get?
I'm gonna agree with you. I am gonna give it a 3 out of 5. But I am gonna agree with you with for all the reasons. That's actually a really good point. The SFX is really effective in this. And yeah, generally a good, like, enjoyable film. But yeah, as we say, like the themes around it are slightly something that I did struggle with a bit. But other than that, good fun film and definitely worth a watch.
Nice. So go check it out. And again, we'll link all the I was going to say Instagrams because the only socials we use, but we'll link all the socials. But again, if you follow them, you'll get a lot more of the news firsthand and you'll get it straight away. But we will try and reshare as much as we can on our socials as well so you don't miss. Bye, guys.